Zamrul Adonai Bechinor, Bechinor, Vekozimra. 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 Zamrul Adonai Bechinor, Bechinor, Vekozimra.
Good morning. Thank you, Rising Pheonix. Is that the name of your duo?
Hopeful Pheonix.
Yes. Thank you so much for that beautiful gathering music. I have your announcements this morning. So things happening here at Neighborhood. Our spirit choir rehearsals are on tomorrow night, Mondays, 7 to 9. You can contact Suzanne for more information. There will be no talent night on October 7th or November the 4th. Just want to let people know that. We're going to restart talent night in January, and we're really hoping to make it a DMC-wide happening. And there will be on December, I'm not sure which date it is, 2nd? Yes, okay, a karaoke evening, and people seem to enjoy that. Circle Song, Sunday, October the 15th, from 3 to 5 p.m. It's co-facilitated by Jane Lewis and Suzanne. All are welcome to this improvised singing circle, and you can contact Suzanne for more information. Small groups. Hatha Yoga small group is being led by Christina Keel on Wednesday evenings from 7:30 to 9, starting this Wednesday, October the 4th. Please bring your own yoga mat, and you can contact Christina or talk to her today. There's a sign-up sheet, which you don't have to sign up, but if you do, that will give her an idea of maybe who all is coming. Building Your Own Theology, small group starting next Sunday, led by our contract minister, Rev. Pat Trudeau. And that is it's not a drop-in. So the dates are listed out in the cappuccino room. There are information sheets. And if you'd like to get more information, you can contact Pat or you can speak to me after service. Fall Charity Drive. Consider donating $100 and getting a tax receipt and the opportunity to dedicate a chair to a loved one. We still have a few chairs that don't have dedications. Forms are available in the cappuccino room over on this side where the tea bags are, the tea offerings. And in the Monday email, everything will go out as well. It's a limited only for until October 31st, and then plates will be installed in November. You can talk to Lauren Renzetti for more information. TEAC, the Toronto East End Climate Collective, meets this Thursday, October the 5th, in person, starting at 7 p.m. TEAC is a climate advocacy, education, and discussion group. We help plan and attend climate actions and work on speaker series. All are welcome. Snacks are provided. For more information, please contact Janet Nanos. Silent auction. I'm going to invite Pat to come forward and give us some more information.
Well, I don't know about more information, but we've had donations coming in. Thank you very much to everyone who's donated. And hello in Zoom land. We are still looking for more to come in. We're doing canvassing. If you want to volunteer and help out with that along Danforth, that'd be great. But also, I just wanted to mention that you can go into your own storefronts that you frequent and or your services that you use and ask perhaps for a donation from them as well, because you have already made an established connection with them. So that's great. I asked my hairdresser, would you like to give a certificate? And he said, sure. And this year I went back and asked again, and he said, sure. So it's another great way to kind of get a hold of a donation to contribute for us. So if you have any questions or you have some stuff you want to donate, just give John or myself a quick email and grab one of these. If you need more information, there's lots here.
Thank you. Yeah, on those, there's a business letter with the poster, so that's something that you can give to the business that you're asking at. Monthly Jewish folk dancing. Come join members of Danforth Jewish Circle along with members of other congregations with which we share space here at the Danforth Multi-Faith Commons. No dance experience is necessary, just bring your dancing shoes and a smile. Expand your dance repertoire, meet new people, and explore one of the fun facets of Jewish culture. This is starting next October 29th, November 19th, and December 17th. And this, of course, will be in the weekly announcements. Welcome. Greeters Committee is seeking more greeters to welcome individuals arriving on Sunday mornings and to pass the collection baskets during service. If you are interested, please email Luann at her email address that's going to be in the Monday email. And next Sunday, our message will be complexity, complicity, and compassion, honesty in relations. The speaker is Melina Bondi, and music will be provided by Suzanne and friends, and I'll be the service weaver.
Got here first try. Good morning, and welcome to our neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation, for those here in the sanctuary and those who are spiritually with us on Zoom. At this time, if you haven't already, please make yourselves comfortable, and let's leave the world behind us for the next hour or so we can go deeper into ourselves and learn more about what we need to. So take a breath, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And now, if you would, please read with me our invocation, which will be projected on our screens. Let us cast a circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast a circle of a cherished space here. A space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love. If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life. A life of graciousness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and for our families. And now, let us light the symbol of our faith, our chalice. I welcome Knutson to please come and light our chalice. And please join the choir as they sing our invocation song.
We light this chalice to remember, to light the fire within our own hearts.
And now, I have the great pleasure of welcoming hopeful Pheonix for our prelude. Thank you for that very enlightening piece of music. This morning, we're standing on the lands while we have our service in our congregation of the Wendat, the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Mississaugas of the New Credit, who have also been joined by the Métis and Inuit peoples, who have been on this land in time out of memory. This land acknowledgement, of course, is only words, but we must grow and understand what we have done with our First Peoples. This weekend, we have recognized the third day of Truth and Reconciliation, where we recognize the traumas of the residential school programs that many of our Indigenous people have unfortunately gone through. And we also recognized Orange Shirt Day, where a student was individual, went into a school wearing an orange shirt, and had it removed from him. So therein having parts of his identity removed. The shirt I'm wearing today was designed by Isaac Murdoch, an Indigenous artist. I myself was temporarily removed from my family's home and sent to a school in Brantford for the blind, and only allowed to go home on weekends and holidays. It did hurt me very much to be separated from my family, and there are still scars of the lack of bonding that I had during that time. But yet I was not so emotionally and physically abused the way that our Indigenous people have been abused. So the days of this weekend especially, we recognize what our Indigenous people have gone through. But really, we should be recognizing this throughout the entire year. Our music director is Suzanne Mazars, who is off this morning. Our director of lifespan learning is Julia Thompson. And our contract minister is Pat Trudeau. Our Zoom tech this morning is Mark Tim, and operating our audio-visual desk is Gordon Thorne. And again, I would like to give a special welcome to Hopeful Pheonix, who are our musical guests this morning. And our very own Peter Marmorek will be offering our message of inspiration this morning. If you're a family with small children, or if you just wish to have some private time alone yourself, we have a wiggle room off to the side where you can have some alone time. The sound is piped through, so you will still be able to hear the service. If you are having difficulties in hearing, please approach Gordon Thorne at our audiovisual desk, and he will be more than happy to give you one of our listening devices, which will help you hear myself and the message and the music a lot more clearly. We come from many faiths, and we are open to many traditions. Our faith is over 400 years old. Our mission here at Neighborhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of our world. The theme for our congregational year is aspirations. Our theme for the first 2 months, September and October, is deeply connected. We've moved out of our September theme, covenant and community, and are moving into our October theme of widening the circle. Peter will be discussing a very difficult topic of dancing with xenophobia. We have dealt with many people, including myself. I've dealt with them too, people who are xenophobic, who are not really open to the different. But I ask, and I think Peter might be asking the same thing, is are we xenophobic to the xenophobic? Are we afraid to deal with people who are afraid to deal with change? I know in my own family, I cringe when I hear some of my relatives saying certain things. But am I actually listening to them? Am I actually listening to their fear and misunderstanding of maybe what was before? Maybe not understanding that they're afraid of change. And I think what I'm about to read is also as important for us as the xenophobic. So in the words of the Zako Nakida, to harm another is to harm yourself. Inversely, to support and care for another person is to care and support yourself. If people aren't willing to grasp or appreciate their human connections, it gives rise to feelings of isolation, mistrust, hostility, or apathy. And it leads to a society based on fragile relationships that are easily fractured. So I think maybe, just maybe we should be a little less xenophobic to the xenophobic. And now for a practice we love here at Neighborhood that is not xenophobic at all. Let us greet our neighbors. Take time to say hello to people around you and adopt maybe a little distance from those that wish a little space. And those on Zoom, please unmute yourselves and greet your neighbors on Zoom. And those in the sanctuary, when you're finished greeting those here, give a wave to the camera on Zoom. A chime will sound to end.
Hi, Suzanne.
Good morning. How do I make
Good
this
morning.
gallery? Oh, that's much better. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
everyone.
Water
Nice to have
ski.
a day
Hi.
off today. Hey, Mark.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Mark. Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
Susan.
Hi.
Yeah.
Please take your seats.
So, just to introduce ourselves, we are Hopeful Pheonix. I am Tika. This is Tamar. We're also members of the DJC here at the Multi-Faith Commons. And it's exciting. It's so exciting to be here back with your congregation again. We had a fabulous time in January. I just wanted to give you a little anecdote just about personal experience of mine. So I've lived in Toronto all my life. Very, as a Jew in general, a very easy, friendly place to grow up. It's very multicultural, very cosmopolitan. So I've been fairly spared, compared to many of my ancestors. So I was a tour guide in the 90s. I was one of those people that took kids on their school trips, like in grade 8, to go to Ottawa and see our nation's capital. Yeah? Amazing, loved it. And got to meet so many kids from all over the province. Really enjoyed the kids. It's such a fun age, too. 13, 14, you never quite know what you're going to get. And so one day, we were walking past beautiful Rideau Hall, and in the corner of my ear, I overheard the words, "Yeah, if I saw a Jew, I'd stomp on them like a frog." And I heard more voices piping in. "Yeah, I would stomp them like this." And so I turned around to see a group of maybe 5, 13 and 14-year-old nice boys stomping with their full weight on the ground, showing each other how they would trample a Jew if they were to meet one. My blood ran cold. I'd never experienced anything like that before. And I just froze. I just went silent. I am definitely a flight rather than a fight or flight. So I just internalized. And within a few minutes, they had moved on and they were talking about the scenery. I guess I never really moved past it. I'm still shy. It's very vibrant in my mind. And I'd like to think now, all these years later, I would handle it differently, that I would have the courage to confront or say something. But at the same time, be fearful. If I'm wearing a mug and a bead necklace, I will strategically cover it depending on where I am. It took me many years to hang a mezuzah on my door. So this is still something very much that Toronto Jews live with, just to give you a little piece of that. But we're here to focus on change and ways to improve the world. We've just come off the Jewish holidays, which is a huge time of reflection. So the first song that we're going to present to you, one of our originals, is called Soaring. It's actually the first piece we wrote together. You can enjoy the lyrics there, and really the intention is just rising above the challenges and the difficulties in your past and in your present as well. It's an ongoing process. So please, enjoy Soaring. What will it take? Now I already hold all this pain deep inside. I tried to soar so many times, but the shots kept dragging the climb. All I needed was a soft place to land in this world set on fire. Kept reaching out for branches, but got tangled in the spire. Then up through the wreckage and up from the pyre, a crash of life appears, then a ball and a streak in the fire. Now I'm soaring through the sky. I'm gonna give it one more try. With broken wings, I learned to fly, but the clouds got in my way. I couldn't summon up the lift to blow them all away. I tried to heal, I tried to mend this dark hole in my soul, searching for the perfect bow that roots and makes me whole. Then up through the wreckage and up from the pyre, a crash of life appears in a ball and a streak in the fire. Now I'm soaring through the sky. I'm gonna give it one more try. The flames they dance, they lick my face. I feel warm and glow. Then I emerge radiant, because now I know that up through the wreckage and up from the pyre, a crash of life appears in a ball and a streak in the fire. Now I'm soaring through the sky. I'm gonna give it one more try. Soaring, 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 yeah, yeah. Thank you for soaring with us. We will see you again in the program.
Hello. This is the time that I would like to invite the young and the young of heart to join me for the time for all ages. I don't know if there's anybody in the wiggle room. I would invite you if you'd like to come. Anybody else? Well, the story that I'm going to tell you is from the Congo, and it's called The Crocodile and the Hen. Once upon a time, Hen came to the river to get a drink of water. Crocodile saw Hen and, opening his mouth wide, said, "I'm going to eat you, Hen." Hen looked Crocodile right in the eye and said, "Don't eat me, brother." Crocodile was so surprised that Hen had called him brother that he forgot he was going to eat her. Why did Hen call me brother? Crocodile wondered. Hen lives on land and I live in the water. I'm not Hen's brother. Well, the next day, Crocodile was waiting for Hen when Hen came again to the river for a drink of water. And opening his mouth wide again, he said, "Hen, this time I'm going to eat you." Hen looked calmly at Crocodile and said, "You can't eat me. You are my brother." Crocodile watched Hen. She really had no fear of him. She bent her head down to the river and she tipped her head back to let the water run down so she could drink it. Crocodile could not eat Hen. He just could not do it. What is wrong with me? He wondered as he watched Hen walk calmly away. Why does she call me brother? We're so different. Hen has fluffy feathers and I have scaly skin. I'm not Hen's brother. Crocodile swam down the river until he reached his cousin Lizard, sunning himself on a rock. "What's wrong, cousin?" Lizard asked. "You look worried." "I am worried. I don't know what's happening. Hen keeps calling me brother, and then I can't eat her." "Well," said Lizard, "let's think. In many ways, you and Hen are different, but there are some ways that you are the same." Can you think of some ways? Pause story for a minute. Don't look at the slide. Sorry, that was my fault. Too late. You would have thought of that, though, right? Yes. So they all come, crocodiles and lizards and hens all come from eggs, yes. So in that way, we are the same. In that way, Hen is your brother. You are her sister. "Nuts," said Crocodile. "Now I can't eat her." But we're different, but we're the same. And now I want to find out more about Hen. The next day, when Hen went down to the water to have another drink, Crocodile was waiting. "So nice to eat you." "Oh, oops, I mean meet you again, Hen." "It's always nice to meet you, brother," said Hen. And so it was, and so it is, and so it always shall be. You know, a real crocodile wouldn't think twice about eating a real hen, of course. But this story got me thinking, like, what if crocodile was a person or people, and hen was like Henry or Henrietta, another group of people, like the others. What would crocodile say to hen other than I'm going to eat you? You know, and what would hen say to crocodile? And I wonder how they would work things out. I'd love to have like some kind of role play or something, or a play. Perhaps when we have more children, we can work this out. I think it would be fun. I think it'd be interesting to see what we come up with. Thank you.
Welcome to October. This month's theme is Widening the Circle, the second part of our 2 months of aspiring to be deeply connected. Last month we looked inward at how to connect to ourselves and our congregation. This month we look outward at how we do or don't connect to other people. Last June, you asked for services on anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and anti-Asian hatred. That's part of xenophobia, the hatred of others. It's related to transphobia, to homophobia, and to racism, but it's not quite the same thing. This talk is not about racism because Jews, Muslims, and Asians are all 3 groups that are composed of many different races. But social psychology has shown frequently and replicatably that people who are prejudiced against one group are very likely to be prejudiced against another. So the topics are related. Today's talk is in 2 parts, looking at the extent of xenophobia and why people feel that way, and then in part 2, how do we interact with them? What can we do about it? I'll start with some personal history. My first direct counter, I think, was in grade 3 when I was in a small French-Canadian town and was chased home by a group of Roman Catholics who were yelling that I was personally responsible for killing Jesus. I was terrified, but fortunately was able to get home before they caught me. About 8 years later, my parents moved from Quebec to Ontario because of anti-Semitism. They were both survivors of the Holocaust, and they knew where such hatred led. It was quite a few years before they shared with my brother and I the reasons why they'd moved. They didn't want us to know how common such things were. That's what old times were like. Unfortunately, the prejudice is still around and it's growing. StatsCan reports that anti-Semitic crimes now make up over half of religious hate crime in Canada. Hate crimes against Muslims have been more deadly, with the targeted running down of a Muslim family 2 years ago in London and the attack on a mosque in Quebec 5 years ago. Between 2020 and 2021, the last year for which I could get statistics, hate crimes against Muslims increased by 71% in 1 year, and against Asians by 47%. This July in Belleville, a group of protesters against Justin Trudeau started chanting that Justin was a dirty Jew. That is almost, but not quite funny because Trudeau is obviously Roman Catholic and has the RCMP to protect him. Not funny because other people don't have the RCMP to protect them. And this week, this poster went up in a Vancouver suburb. Whites only, mothers and tots. Are you looking for somewhere your children can play with others that look like them? Are they tired of being a minority in their schools or daycares? Escape forced diversity and join other proud parents of European children as we create an atmosphere in which our kids feel like they belong. That was up a week ago. They're working and tracking down the people who put it up. Xenophobia is serious enough that in the past 2 years, my brother and I, our 2 nephews, and a fair number of my family in the States have all gotten foreign passports so that we can leave North America quickly if we have to. We come from a long line of people who survived because they got out in time and have no interest in breaking that streak. Who are the people who feel this way, and what is the source of the hatred? Robert Jones, a US scholar who's looked a lot, mostly in the States, but I think it applies to Canada as well, comments that in both countries, the overwhelming majority of voluntary settlers were white Christians. There was a belief that, quote, this country was divinely ordained to be a promised land for European Christians. An idea that goes back to the doctrine of discovery, 1493, papal bull, in which it stated that Christians have a right to conquer and occupy lands not inhabited by Christian people. But today, the percentage of white Christians is declining in both countries. In Canada, 53% currently say they're Christian. That's down from 77% in 2001. So from 77% to 51%. In the US, white Christians are now only 42%, down from 54% in 2008. Think about the slogans. Trump's slogan, Make America Great Again, and Poilievre's new slogan, Restoring the Canada We Love. The key words there, it seems to me, are again and restoring. Both words combine nostalgia tinged with loss. What have we lost? We in quotation marks. White Christians have lost much of their economic, demographic, and political dominance. That pain, and it's absolutely real pain, I don't mean to diminish or deny it, is exacerbated by increasing income inequality. Some politicians, podcasters, media outlets use that pain to target minority groups, and they do this for 2 reasons: to distract from the 1% who are gaining the power, and to get themselves elected or to get clicks. I do not, absolutely do not mean to suggest that white Christians are worse than any other group, some of my best friends, but they are the majority group in Canada and the US, and xenophobia is most dangerous when it's a majority group targeting a minority group. This is a depressingly common pattern in world politics. We see it in Israel, where the Israeli government imposes apartheid laws on Palestinians. We see it in India, where the majority Indian government targets both Muslims and Sikhs. And we see it in China, where the government targets Uyghurs and puts them in concentration camps. In every case, the government is targeting others to provide a distraction from the economic pain and demographic grief that people are going through. I'm not the first person to figure this out. 2 of my favorite writers have pinpointed how internal pain manifests as external hatred. C.S. Lewis, most famous for inventing and populating Narnia, and James Baldwin, the great American writer, have commented on this. Lewis says, I sat with my anger long enough until she told me her real name was grief. And Baldwin says, one of the reasons people cling to their hates so stubbornly is because they sense once hate is gone, they'll be forced to deal with pain. Anger and hate, masking grief and pain. That's where the intolerance comes in. I hope that clarifies what our challenge is. This intolerance exists and it's increasing, and it comes from those who are feeling pain and grief over the diminishment of their place in the world. We see it in Canada, where increasing intolerance comes out of radically increasing income inequality, the grief and pain of those who feel they'll never be able to own a home, that their jobs are being sent away, that they're increasingly powerless. And so they blame others for that pain. So what do we do? What actions will accountably dismantle those oppressions in ourselves and our institutions, as the 8th principle calls on us to do? How do we talk to people who feel this hatred? Stay tuned. All the answers are coming in part 2. Let me put the mic back.
Thank you, Peter, for your introspective thoughts, and very timely. And I love that the flames are here as well, because I just wanted to touch on just how hard it is dealing with hatred when you're faced with it. And even harder can be finding the good in those people that are showing that hostility, because it is often motivated by fear. It's motivated by so many other factors. So being able to find that spark of good inside people who are challenging you, that's a whole challenge into itself. And so the next song we're going to present to you is called The Flame Within. And that's what it's about. It's finding that spark of the divine within anyone that you come across, and embracing that and helping it grow. So here we have The Flame Within. I'm going to get my cough drop. Tiny little flame flickers in the rain, glowing, slowing, dangerous terrain. A breeze of oxygen makes it dance again, daintily, faintly, precarious within. Embers dance slow, my bellows blow. The flame starts to grow. Whoa, fan the flame within, fan the flame within. Let it shine again, let it shine again. A splash of salty rain dims it once again, yearning, burning, it waxes and it wanes. Cup it to protect, shield it to deflect. Mother, don't smother, crimson and reflect. Embers dance slow, my bellows blow. The flame starts to grow. Whoa, fan the flame within, fan the flame within. Let it shine again, and let it shine again. Now I'm going to give you all the chance to join in with me. The words are fan flame, fan flame, fan flame within. Try that. We're going fan flame, fan flame, fan flame within. Then it goes up a little bit. Fan flame, fan flame, fan flame within. Try that. Fan flame, fan flame, fan flame within. And we're just going to sing that a few times over and over. Tamar's going to sing over us, and together we're going to fan the flame. You can stand if you want. Fanning the flame's a lot of work, so get your fans ready, and we're going to fan that. Say that 5 times quickly. We're going to fan the flame. Here we go. We're going to fan the flame, fan the flame, fan the flame within. We're going to fan the flame, fan the flame, fan the flame within. We're going to fan the flame, fan the flame, fan the flame within. We're going to fan the flame, fan the flame, fan the flame within. Keep climbing. Fan the flame within. Fan the flame within. We're going to fan the flame, fan the flame, fan the flame within. We're going to let it shine again. Let it shine again. And bring it down a little. Fan the flame within. You got to fan the flame within. Fan the flame within. Build it up. We're going to let it shine again. Let it shine again. Fan the flame within. Let it shine again. 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 Thank you. You fanned it. Thank you.
A few weeks back, we did a rock covenant with our water communion, and we've been reading some of the covenants you've written down this week. I think the covenant that was written, "Be here more fully," is very apt today. Now, for those of you that don't know, we have 8, it used to be 7, 8 principles that guide and mark the way we should lead our lives. And obviously, our 8th principle is to combat racism and other oppressions that are barriers within us. Also, our 3rd principle, more equity. Sorry, I screwed up on the 3rd one. I do apologize. Now, let us have a moment of meditation. Find a comfortable place to sit and just let yourselves just go deep into yourself and think about how we can go all deeper and become better as people.
How do we talk to people who are xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, or racist? Don't let the key word in that sentence slip past. It's how. Because not talking to them isn't really a possibility. If we don't talk to the people who disagree with us, we just form vertical silos where we're only talking to people we agree with. That's not shared action. We have to engage with them. I first attended Unitarian Universalist services back in the 1980s at what was then the Unitarian Congregation of South Peel under Reverend Mark DeWolf. Every service there started with the poem by Edwin Markham. He drew a circle that shut me out, heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle and took him in. Mark was a powerfully charismatic teacher and in times became a dear friend, but it was that poem that first hooked me and pulled me in. How do we draw bigger circles in our hearts to take in people who hate other people? What doesn't work is to scream at them that they're stupid. An interesting study actually showed that the higher your IQ, the more likely you are to stereotype, and the more you have to struggle to update your own beliefs. I'm going to say a few words to defend the scientific method here. Science is more than having an open mind. Science involves searching for why we might be wrong and revising our views when the evidence shows we are wrong. We learn more from people who challenge us than people who agree with us. Once we recognize that our beliefs are a map of the world, they aren't the world itself, it becomes more possible for us to adapt our maps and to learn and become wiser. Adam Grant, whose great book, Think Again, influenced much of this part of the talk, comments, "We laugh at people who still use Windows 95, and yet many of us still have beliefs that we formed in 1995. I go into this because we have to start from this position of curious inquiry to engage with people. It took me personally a long time to learn that. I love debating. I was the president of the debating club in both high schools I went to. I would happily debate with anyone about religion, politics, music, whatever. And I realized a few years ago that what I always wanted to happen was that the other person would say, "Yeah, Peter, you're right. I never thought of that. You've changed my mind completely. Thank you." But as you may recognize, that actually never happened. So while I still argue, not quite as well as I did 50 years ago, why xenophobia is wrong, I recognize that those arguments won't change anyone's mind. So how do you engage with people? You ask them why they believe what they believe. You listen and you give them credit for their real lived experience. Listening to others means you care about them and makes them more likely to listen to you. Two good questions to ask, both of other people and of ourselves, are, how do we know that? And what evidence would change your mind? If the answer to what evidence would change your mind is nothing, then there's a closed mind there. As Kenny Rogers sings in his song, The Gambler, you've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And if the person you're talking to is a closed mind, it may be time to walk away. I certainly don't second-guess 9-year-old me for correctly recognizing that it was time to run. And my family has gotten our secondary passports, so we can run if we have to. But if we can talk, Grant points to 3 things we can do. The 3 steps are asking open-ended questions, engaging in reflective listening, and affirming the person's desire and ability to change. None of these come from a position of, I know more than you, and so I can give you the answers that you aren't smart enough to figure out for yourself. That was my position in debating, and as I said, it didn't work for me, and I don't think it'll work for you. Instead, these 3 steps constitute what's called motivational interviewing, and it's been shown to be effective in a wide range of areas consistently. How might it sound? Suppose you're a student at Hogwarts and you become deeply disturbed because one of your friends has become a big fan of Voldemort. A motivational interview might go like this. Jillian, can I ask you for help here? I'd love to better understand your feelings about he who must not be named.
Well, he's the most powerful wizard alive. Also, his followers promised me a fancy title.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see why that would be appealing. Is there anything you dislike about him?
Well, I'm not crazy about all the murdering.
Well, nobody's perfect. What stopped you from abandoning him?
Well, I'm afraid he might point his murdering tendencies towards me.
That's a reasonable fear. I feel that way too. Now, are there any principles that matter so deeply to you that you'd be willing to take that risk? Thank you. Let me clarify just for the record that Gillian is not a follower of Voldemort. So when we talk to someone, we need to start from a place of humility and curiosity. Our goal is to help them examine their views more clearly, not to be a logic bully, as I was as a debater. We need to look at the conversation as a dance and respond to anger and hostility with curiosity and interest. We need to learn how to dance with xenophobia. As Markham's poem says, he drew a circle that shut me out, heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle and took him in. We fight xenophobia by honoring people's pain, asking real questions, and showing them we're interested in learning why they feel the way they do, and that we care about who they are and why they feel so wounded. It's a small step, perhaps, but I think it's one worth taking. And thank you for listening.
Careful of the tambourine. There we go. Now we come to the time where we think of the growth of our congregation in financial terms. This place is a growing entity, and we all must help it grow. But think about this. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. We are the walls, we are the floor, we are the doors, we are the roof, we are the supports. When we give money to help this congregation, we help this place grow, we help the programs grow, and we support our staff. So please, if you are, give in the baskets or post-dated checks or automatic withdrawals. And if you're online, a link will come up in the chat. Greeters, please come and collect the baskets and bring them up when the music is done. If you have found home here, if you have found kindred spirits here and community here, let this offering be a lead to a common life and our common good. Now please rise in spirit for our closing song. Hopeful Pheonix.
Written by a group in Jerusalem called Now the Tehillah. They lead wonderful nigun, spiritual song singing circles. So this song, it's a love song, and it's about change. So I thought it was really appropriate. So thou art a well of living waters, a stream of living waters from Lebanon. And then the chorus is Here It Comes. That's the Hine Zeba. So I'll just do the rhythm of the Hebrew. You'll repeat after me, and then we'll sing it all together. So it's Mayan Ganim Be'er Mayim Chayim. Try that. Mayan Ganim Be'er Mayim Chayim. And then we sing Venozlim, Venozlim, Min Levanon. Try that. Venozlim, Venozlim, Min Levanon. And then the chorus is Hine Zeba. We sing that a whole bunch of times. So join in when you're ready. If you don't know the words or if you don't want to sing the words, you can hum, you can clap, you can move. The point is to kind of turn off your brain and open up your heart. So that's why we do these repetitious songs so you can just kind of go on autopilot and see where it takes you. Mayan ganim, ber mayim chayim. Sing that 3 songs. Mayan ganim, ber mayim chayim. Mayan ganim, ber mayim chayim. Venozlim, venozlim, mi Levanon. Venozlim, venozlim, min Levanon. And here it comes. Hine zeba, hine zeba, hine zeba, hine zeba. We just keep singing that. Hine zeba, hine zeba. Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, here it comes. Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba. Back to the water. Mayan ganim, ber mayim chayim. Mayan ganim, ber mayim chayim. Mayan ganim, ber mayim chayim. Venozlim, venozlim, mi Levanon. Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba. Sing it any way you like. Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba. Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba. I want to hear you clapping on it. Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba. Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba, Hine Zeba. Mayan ganim, ber mayim chayim. Mayan ganim, And now bring it inside you quietly. We know that spark is there. Ready for whatever comes. Woo! Thank you. Thank you.
I think, oh, there we go. Now we have sound. I offer our gracious thanks to Hopeful Pheonix for providing our energetic music today. In closing, we have a tradition of forming a circle. And if you do not wish to form, just stand aside, maybe just do a namaste. I invite Kim Knutson to please come and extinguish our chalice. Now, just before we close, let's take a moment to breathe in what we have discovered today. And to let out our frustrations. Breathe in and let out. In closing, I hope we all can listen and understand our enemies, which may take one step in making them closer to be our friends. Our service is ended. May we go in peace.